皆さんこんにちは。Hello, I'm Taku from Tokyo. Welcome to my video. Today, I'd like to talk about hierarchy in Japan. If you have a chance to interact with Japanese people, you might be wondering how come they are so polite and follow the disciplinary rule. Also, if you wish to have a relationship with Japanese friends or business partners, you may possibly want to know how Japanese society works in the hierarchical culture. We Japanese people have a hierarchical society, and your unconscious behavior could be thought to be impolite in Japan. In this video, I'd like to share the following matters regarding Japanese hierarchy. First, hierarchy in Japan. Second, hierarchy in business. Third, how should you deal with a hierarchical society as non-Japanese? After watching it, I hope you will understand how Japanese hierarchical society works and know how to get along with Japanese friends, seniors, supervisors, customers, and so on. Before moving on to the topic, let me introduce myself. I am Taku from Tokyo, Japan, born and raised here. I have a working experience in Japanese company for 10 years, so I understand Japanese people's hierarchical culture. Okay, move on to the topic. Hierarchy in Japan. Japanese society is based on a strict hierarchy, and we usually show respect to seniors, supervisors, elders, and experienced people. We must use keigo, an honorific language, for even 1 year older person, and friendship is basically impossible between the different generations people because keigo disturbs casualty and makes a hierarchical relationship. The hierarchical relationship is reflected in a lot of parts of Japanese society. Seat of owner. When having a lunch, dinner, in a meeting, or getting in a car, there is a seat of owner, and you need to have extra care not to sit on the seat of owners. If you are together with a Japanese older person, your senior, supervisor, or customer, meeting, lunch, or dinner. During meetings, lunch, or dinners, back seat far from the door or entrance is usually the seat of owner. Please see the image 1 and 2 are the seat of owner. In contrast, the seat near the door or entrance is the lower seat for subordinate. If you are subordinate and have a seat with your senior, supervisor, or customer, you possibly need to let them sit on the seat of owner. We Japanese people always consider which seat is the seat of owner, and they try to avoid sitting there. So when it is difficult to know where is the seat of owner, common thing is that no one even tried to have any seat for 1 or 2 minutes, hesitating. Car. There is a seat of owner even inside a car as well. The red color person in the image is the seat of owner. In contrast, green color persons are the seats for lower position. I know it is quite difficult to remember such kind of rules. Hierarchy in school. Hierarchy in Japan starts from junior high school, and Japanese students all need to use keigo, honorific language in Japan, with their teachers and seniors, even 1 year older students. I remember I was scolded by my PE teacher because I didn't use keigo when speaking with him when I was in a junior high school. I need to call seniors senpai. If your senior's last name is Suzuki, we should call them Suzuki senpai. Also, seniors feel uncomfortable if keigo is not used by juniors. or juniors are not obedient to seniors, and even there is a possibility seniors bully juniors due to that. That hierarchical language usage suddenly started when we all entered junior high school. So good friends of mine who were 1 year older or younger couldn't be good friends anymore since then. Hierarchy in business. Japanese business style is also based on the hierarchical relationship. When calling supervisors, you need to call supervisors by their titles such as manager, which is kacho in Japanese, and president, shacho in Japanese. And if their last names are Suzuki, you need to call manager the Suzuki kacho and president Suzuki shacho inside the company. Obedience to supervisors. You are required to be obedient to your supervisors in a strange way. Some companies in Japan require subordinates to stay working after regular working hours is finished, and they possibly need to ask their boss whether they could help the boss to finish his or her job early and support them working overtime. When I was in a logistics company in Japan, there was such a culture of not leaving office after regular working hour, and all the workers ended up working until 8 or 9 p.m. It depends on each company's culture, and also there are a lot of companies which allow subordinates to go home soon after regular working hours, so it totally depends on company culture. Also, subordinate cannot decide many things and always need to communicate with their supervisors in advance and receive a full approval. For example, I'm a salesperson in a manufacturing company, and when I submit a quotation to my customer, and if the value of a quotation exceeds JPY 10 million JPY, which is USD 75,000, I must consult my supervisor to receive approval, and the approval system often prevents smooth correspondence with my customer. The voice of subordinates cannot be reflected easily due to that hierarchical relationship in Japanese companies. The voices of subordinates cannot be reached to supervisors often, so the timing of complaining current environment is usually done when subordinates submit resignations to their supervisors. Companies are trying to have better environments for workers. Therefore, there are a lot of the companies promoting a good communication environment recently. For instance, as I mentioned, we need to call supervisor job titles when addressing them, such as kacho or shacho. But some companies mandate all the workers to call san at last, such as Suzuki-san or Ito-san, regardless of job title. San means Mr. or Ms. in Japan. If we call san instead of job title, it can rather be a flat relationship and less authority is inside san, and regardless of job positions in the company. Arguments can be more activated, and the voice from subordinates can be easily sent to management teams. A giant agricultural machinery company, Kubota, started calling the San movement in 2020. Therefore, the voice of subordinates cannot be reached to supervisors often in Japanese society, and a lot of Japanese companies are trying to improve that situation. How should you deal with Japanese hierarchical society? If you come to Japan to work, you might wonder how you should deal with the hierarchical culture in Japan. Firstly, if you are a foreigner to Japanese people, you don't need to take it too seriously, because Japanese people also think you don't understand our hierarchical culture. There are a lot of Japanese people who are casual to foreigners only. However, you also need to keep in mind that the elder, senior, supervisor, or experienced person are well respected in Japanese society, and you shouldn't obviously refuse or deny what they say or do in front of other people, or else they lose their faces and you cannot end up having a good relationship with them. Also, you may gradually learn to know distinctive Japanese rules such as the above seat of honor by observing your Japanese friends, colleagues, and so on. Conclusion: I introduced Japanese hierarchical society. The culture could possibly be quite difficult to understand. If it is so, again, you don't need to worry about it too much first of all. And if you have chance to live in Japan, gradually you can learn how Japanese society works. Thank you for watching this video till the end. See you next time.